This week on Maker Update, a sunshine-powered bicycle, an AI-powered friend from 40 Aridity, a computer that fits in your pocket, and getting your zip ties in order. Hello and welcome back to Maker Update, our weekly showcase of all of our favorite Maker projects, tips, and tools from across the internet that we just can't wait to share with all of you. I'm Tyler Weingartner, and I hope you're all doing great out there. We've got a super fun show for you. Let's get it going with the project of the week. One of the biggest drawbacks to electric vehicles is range anxiety, the fear that the charge of your battery won't be enough to get you to your destination. But what if you can make that all go away? Becca Farcase has a crazy idea for a crazy ride, a power-assisted e-bike with a solar panel trailer that she's going to ride across the entire state of New York using nothing but solar power to charge her ride. This story is told across two videos. The first is how she built the trailer with the help of her friend Brendan. He built a similar bike that has this double trailer with 6 solar panels, more than enough to ride for endless miles without ever even needing to pedal once, as long as you don't need to go around any corners. But since Becca is starting her ride in New York City, that's not going to work. Instead, her bike has a single trailer with only 3 panels. But it's also modular. 2 of the panels can be collapsed for what she calls city mode, making it easier to navigate tight city streets. The solar panels can also be tilted to better catch the sun's light, making it more efficient. The solar panels dump their output into a DJI power bank, which can charge devices while it's being charged by the panels. That way she can charge up her spare bike battery in case she's out on a cloudy day. But once she's out of the city and on the rail trails that will make up most of her journey, she can deploy all the panels and put down some serious miles. She's trying to travel 70 miles per day, but the reality of the journey told her not to worry so much about the destination, but enjoy the ride, take breaks, and wait for batteries to charge. And since she's towing her tent with her, she can sleep wherever she needs to. Her final destination after 477 miles was Rochester, New York. It's a great project with an epic adventure, and while this video is almost a year old, it's a great time to see it now and get inspired to get out on the trail yourself. More projects. After seeing the film Project Hail Mary, Leviathan Engineering wanted to bring the story's ebullient alien, Rocky, to life. As cinematic aliens go, Rocky is one of the stranger ones. He's a 5-limbed spidery thing that can also use 2 of his legs as arms. So in order to make this desk-sized Rocky move and emote like the actual character, he needs to fit at least 2 servos into each leg. But the locomotion is only half of the equation, because he wants Rocky to also speak like Rocky. Tucked inside Rocky's stony body is a Raspberry Pi 5, running an internal large language model and a voice model resembling puppeteer James Ortiz's voice.
Hello friend, I am good. You are here?
Managing Rocky's sense of balance is tricky when he's using one of his legs as arms, but he can give you a fist bump when requested. Two of the most evergreen Maker projects are Cyberdeck and Altoids tins. But I believe this is the first time I've ever seen them combined. Exercising Ingenuity is building a pocketable Cyberdeck that fits into this venerable, ready-made project enclosure. The brains of the Cyberdeck is a Raspberry Pi Zero, using a 2-inch color LCD display over an SPI interface. The real treat here is the keyboard, which is a completely hand-soldered diode matrix using standard issue tactile momentary switches and controlled by an RP2040 microcontroller running KMK firmware. Fitting this much hardware into a tiny space is no small feat. There's a lot of custom soldering to bypass bulky connectors, but there's even an external USB port, and he's exposing the GPIO pins that weren't used for the build. He did need to modify the tin slightly to get it to close, but it's an impressive accomplishment to fit this much functionality into such a small package. And on his YouTube channel, AeroKoi shares the results of several months of experimentation and research into making 3D printed train whistles. The telltale sound of train whistles all come from their multi-tonal nature. There are often 4 or even 6 individual tones that are harmonized together into a single sound. Powering the sound is a stream of 120 psi air from an air compressor. You get to see all of his considerations for airflow and resonance here. Keep an eye on his channel. He plans to release the 3D printed files once he perfects some of the rough edges. Now for a few tips and tools. If you're anything like me, anytime you need to rig something up quickly and securely, you're reaching for a fistful of zip ties. And that probably means you have a pretty large collection of different sizes of zip ties, and keeping them organized and easy to reach is a must. This video by Eiki Martinson shares his 3D printed designs of organizers to manage his store of zip ties to keep them tidy but easy to access. It mounts into a length of 2020 extrusion that also holds his collection of acromil storage bins. On his channel, Jimmy Diresta shares a modification he made to his Hardtail Vise. This was a new one for me. A Hardtail Vise has an enclosed sleeve for the sliding portion of the vise. Its design improves rigidity and clamping force, but it also provides a non-moving magnetic surface that you can use to keep tools close to hand. Jimmy is making a custom tool caddy to share everything he wants within easy reach of his vise. Files, clamps, hammers, pliers, that sort of thing. He first prototypes in cardboard before finalizing the design in steel. And in his latest issue of Gareth's Tips, Tools, and Shop Tales newsletter, he's got a great collection of recommendations. Like this book called Maintenance of Everything by Stuart Brand of Whole Earth Catalog fame. There's also a video on the Stumpy Nubs YouTube channel that's a roundup of 5 unique maker-made tools. And a table saw primer by Leah Bolden of C. Jane Drill, where she walks you through the very basics of using a table saw safely and successfully. It's great stuff. For this week's DigiKey Spotlight, we have another entry from their product discovery channel about Peltier coolers from Tark Thermal Solutions. Peltier coolers are ideal for keeping components cool in environments where mechanical cooling isn't practical and passive cooling just isn't enough. If you apply voltage to the cooling unit, it will actively draw heat away from an overheating element. They're not the most efficient coolers, but they're the right tool for certain applications. This video will help you get your head around them and what kind of performance you can expect. Check it out. Alright, and that is going to do it for this week's show. A reminder, as always, you can get more info about every single one of these projects and tips by following the links down in the description. While you're there, leave us a comment, give us a thumbs up, and hit subscribe so you won't miss the next one. Huge thanks as always to DigiKey for making this show possible and to you for watching. Take care. We'll see you soon.